2 weeks ago, 2 Chicago policemen were shot to death by snipers at a housing project, Cabrini Homes, but black leaders say it's typical of all that's bad about low-income public housing.
Now it's almost like walking through a patch in Vietnam, worrying about whether snipers or you're coming down on you or not. You just don't know.
Cabrini Green in Chicago is probably the best-known name for the worst in public housing. At its peak, 15,000 low-income tenants lived in its high-rises. And this week, the final residents moved out as part of what the city of Chicago calls a transformation.
I believe we moved in Cabrini before I was born.
Right.
I was born in '61, and I have older brother and sister, Walter and Donna and Denise. I believe they were born when we was living on Cedric.
Right.
We used to live on Cedric, not far from Cabrini.
We were born in Cabrini.
Actually, in Cook County Hospital.
Right.
But we lived in Cabrini. Well, we moved when I was at least 13, I believe 12 or 13.
Yeah, I was 10 years old
Yeah,
when we moved
was
out,
10.
because I remember that. Yeah, I love living in there. Every day was a different adventure. We lived on the 10th floor, and I used to love running all the way up the stairs to the 10th floor and all the way down. The ramps, before they put the guard all the way up, you could see people, well, there's stories of people getting tossed over the ramp.
Yeah. I can remember in '67, '68 when King got killed, how the National Guard and the Army Reserve were all down because it was rioting. It was pretty wild. I was only 6 or 7 years old.
Wow. It was wow. Back then, in the early 70s, it was wow.
For years, I didn't know nothing outside of Cabrini, because we rarely traveled outside of Cabrini. So we didn't know, for me, I didn't know about a world outside of Cabrini till I was maybe 10, 11, really. That's how secluded we were in Cabrini. I was in 7th or 8th grade, or 7th going to 8th grade in Cooley High, and it was kind of wild. I mean, it was scary, really, it was scary. You know.
When my mom moved us out of there, we realized there was a whole other world.
Yeah, and it saddens me to see that, you know, they didn't have the opportunity to get out.
I thought I could reconnect with them guys over there when I started going back. But then after leaving there, I kind of said, well, you know what, this isn't where I want to be. You know, this isn't. And it taught me, those lessons I learned in the projects taught me that I don't want to go down that path. I don't want to be incarcerated like these guys. I don't want to be hiding from the police or none of that. You know, so I don't want to go down that path. So I kind of steered away from that. I kind of said, hey, that ain't for me. Dr. King told Daley, he said, that's a bad idea to stack people on top of people like that. And they did it anyway.
Well, when they did decide to actually tear it down, I was of age. We knew that it's the best thing that could happen to it because of what was going on. You know, it was just drugs, you know, gangs and killings, and you know, it was inevitable. It had to happen, you know.
A lot of people didn't want it tore down because it was a lifestyle that they were so accustomed to living, they couldn't change. You know, they had gotten so far into it that I don't want to change this right now. But then for people like us who had kind of moved out and had kind of realized that that lifestyle would have caught you up and you would have either died or ended up in jail or a gang or something like that, we were more glad. I was very happy when I heard that.
What's wrong with me wanting something better? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, you know. And I'm not going to move from Cabrini into another area that's just as bad, you know. But, you know, I think you all deserve a backyard. I think I deserve a basement. I think we just deserve, you know, a peace of mind. And we can't get that here.